Another Progress Tea and Tights Brit Rest special, and we have one of the greatest returning guests, making this one of the greatest specials we've ever done, as we have with us one of the true breakout stars of 2023. If you Google the greatest wrestler to have ever walked planet Earth, you will find his picture. He is the current holder of the TNT Extreme Level Up briefcase. He is in a 5-match win streak on Progress Wrestling with wins over Effy, Sam Bailey, Nico Angelo, and more. And on November the 29th, he will face Ricky Knight Jr. in the Natural Progression Series final at They Think It's All Over. Tate, how are you doing?
Ooh, ooh. I always feel great. But you list off all of those achievements just as I predicted them to be against everyone else's better judgment. I predicted them. They all come true. I am riding high, running into some of the biggest shows of the year coming up in just round the corner. Yeah, you got one thing wrong. I'm not just the greatest wrestler to ever walk planet Earth. No, I'm the greatest professional wrestler to ever walk planet Earth. I ain't no amateur. This ain't no playing around. This is the big leagues, and I am sitting on top. And that's why Tateness is greatness, and you are all finding it out day by day.
I mean, you have caught the ire of many fans with your bravado, but you cannot be denied that you are one of the breakout stars of 2022, especially
the
in
breakout
Progress.
star, the star, only star in all of professional wrestling.
I mean, there have been some great stars breaking out. Leon Slater, for one. I mean, he's not in the MPS finals, but he's been a great star.
Says about enough, does it?
I suppose it does.
All hype, no flight to the top. You know what I'm saying? He isn't in the MPS final. He didn't beat Ricky Knight Jr. 2 times he's had the chance. I'm going to go in there and beat Ricky Knight Jr. in one go.
Definitely. And many would point to your match with Effy in solidifying yourself as a top star within Progress. It got a lot of hype going into the match, back and forth on Twitter. What was it like taking on and defeating, one of the biggest stars in all of independent wrestling, all of professional wrestling in the US and worldwide? But you came out on top.
It was unsurprising to me, brother. It was completely unsurprising to me. I told everyone this. I said, if you come to my country, if you turn up at Progress, I will beat you. I will beat you. I will embarrass you. And I will solidify the name of Tate Mayfairs. And I did it. It was, what do you expect? It's like asking someone, like, how did it feel to pour a glass of water for yourself after saying you would do it? It was simple. It was easy. It's surprising to the rest of you because of how little respect you all gave me. Now you're like, oh, wow, I can't believe you did that. I told you I'd do it. Just like I told you, I'm going to win the MPS. I'm going to become the world champion at Progress Wrestling. Believe it. Understand it. It's happening.
It is very true, because on this very show, when you were first on, we talked about the fact that you only just missed out on the Natural Progression Series last year due to injury. And you said that you were going to be in this year's Natural Progression Series and that you would win it.
The only injury was down to pride. I've never been injured, brother. This is a solid body. I have never even had a strained anything. I'm 100%. I always have been 100%. I was left out of last year's MPS out of pure neglect and idiocy. Genuinely stupidness from people in management who don't understand what greatness is until it slaps them in the face. And that's what I've been doing all year this year. And I have proven my point, and I will continue to prove my point.
That's fair enough. Now, in the first round of that quarterfinals, you took on one of the top competitors in the UK, the Northwest scene. He's trained some of the best wrestlers in the UK. You took on Sam Bailey. You came out on top. But many
schooled him, didn't I?
Huh? You did. And then, of course, your semi-final match, another breakout star of this year, Just Joe Lando. I mean, sorry, not Just Joe Lando. It was Nico Angelo who defeated Just Joe Lando. I mean, as I say, he is another one of those breakout stars of 2023. Nico, what was it like picking up that win in that semi-final?
Nico Angelo's good. He's been good for a long time. I remember sitting on the sidelines and watching him do his thing and break out over at Attack Pro Wrestling, and knowing that I'm better than him, knowing in my heart I am better than him. This year, start of the year, I'd never fought him before. This year, now sitting here right now, I have fought him 3 times. And 2 of those 3 times I have come out on top. And one of those was the most important time to come out on top, and that is in the Progress Wrestling MPS semi-final.
Now, fans have been quick to point out recently that, when you mentioned that after Tom Dawkins forfeited his match after he lost, they were
lost to me.
They
Carl
were quite
Noir,
quick.
former Progress Wrestling world champion, lost to Tate Mayfairs. Yeah,
but the fans did point out the fact that you did have also losses to Dean Allmark and Anthony Ogogo earlier in the year. What do you say to these fans right now?
Did I lose? Did I? I don't think I did. I think I kept calling Anthony Ogogo back to the ring, and then he left. He left, didn't he? Is the fight over if I keep calling? Say, come on, have a go. Come on, have a go. Nah, he left. I had to chase him up to Liverpool, see him again, and then he left the country for months. Yeah, now he won't even look my way. Yeah, because he's scared. Dean Allmark, I was a last minute replacement in for his opponent. Okay. I hadn't prepped for a fight camp. Like, I'm always ready to go, but it's different. Okay. I stepped in last minute and he was on the biggest win streak of anyone in the company at that time. After me, he went on to main event and fight Carl Noir, who I later beat for the world title. So, and he lost to Carl Noir, who I beat. So, really, did I lose? I don't think so. I am the greatest professional wrestler to ever walk planet Earth, and you can't argue with that.
Well, many would point out that it's only since the use of brass knuckles or a foreign object is the only reason that your fortunes have changed recently.
That's ridiculous. I've never I just have a powerful right hand. I've been training at this right hand for a long time. It's a hidden secret of mine. And we call it the hand of God because it was gifted. It was gifted to me, you know what I mean?
But many people have seen these brass knuckles. I mean, in that when you came out to talk about how Carl Noir have forfeited his match, you came out with the knuckles literally wrapped around your neck.
I've got a lot of jewelry. As you can see, I've got a lot of jewelry, and it's clear to me that the internet is full of conspiracy theorists, full of people trying to make excuses as to why I am where I am, and let them talk on. At the end of the day, my bank account keeps rising, my name keeps on growing and growing and growing, and I am taking over the world of professional wrestling, whether you like it or not. Deal with it, brother. Deal with it.
Fair enough now, but let's talk about, before we go on to the natural progression final itself, you have seemed to draw on issues with the host of Progress, somebody who's a non-competitor on the Progress roster right now. Yeah, you seem to have picked up an issue with one Simon Miller.
Oh, he's no different to any other jabroni I deal with on a day-to-day basis that's meant to do their job and doesn't do it, like a parking attendant, some old deer taking too long to cross the road. You know what I mean? It's just do your job. Do your job, for God's sake. I go in there and I back it up every single time. I am not only a professional wrestler, but the greatest professional wrestler to ever walk planet Earth. And I back that up every single time I go in that ring. If I didn't do that, if I didn't bring up my end of the bargain, I would punish myself. I'd be mean to myself. You know what I'm saying? But his job is to go in there with his stupid bald head, with all his YouTube followers and all the rest of it, and say the name and the moniker of the people who are in the ring. Every single time since January I have been in there, he has failed to just tell them who and what I am. And then the last one in Manchester, no, it was one of the Camden after, wasn't it? But he's laughing and stuff like that. How stupid are you? How unprofessional are you to not get my name and introduction correctly. It's stupid, man. I don't even know how he still has a job. Talk about him having a non-compete, like a hosting job. Like, he's lucky, brother. He's lucky, because I would smack him up the little div.
Well, he's a big guy. I mean, during that interaction, he did take off his t-shirt to show off what big guns he does have. But I just don't understand why you're picking on a non-competitive competitor.
How am I picking on him? He's not doing his job properly. He's not doing his job properly. It's just like a staff in the building. Like, if I throw some rubbish on the floor, you better pick it up. That is your job. Pick it up. Do what you're told. Know your place. I'm a superstar. You're the guy holding the mic, telling everyone how great I am.
Okay,
Now
look,
do your job and ask me another question. What is wrong with you, honestly?
That is absolutely fair enough. Fair enough. Now, you are facing Ricky Knight Jr. on the 29th of November. They think it's all over. He has been another standout. Some people call him the leader of the new generation of wrestling. How are you feeling going into this match?
Why is he the leader? Who made him the leader?
Promos where he feels like he's putting the companies on his shoulders. As a young 21-year-old, he's had standout successes everywhere, and he's come into this natural progression series. He's undefeated in Progress. He's, knocked off two of the biggest names on his way to this final. It's undeniable how great of a star he actually is.
Sounds like you're describing me. That's what I am hearing. Undefeated at Progress, undeniable, on a win streak, a leader, a new generational talent. Yeah, that sounds like me. That's the thing. Ricky carries a load of hype, doesn't he? Carries a load of hype with him wherever he goes. He's got a whole big family history in this business. He's got a whole lot of accolades to his name. He's got a whole lot of groundswell support, a lot of love, a lot of respect. But at the end of the day, he is just a bloke. He is just another young lad getting in the ring with someone who they think that this is a joke. They think that this is all hype. Understand, I am more than any other man you have ever met in your life. And you can only truly understand it the closer you get to it. And when they get in that ring, they find out firsthand. He may be tough, he may be resilient, but the longer the fight goes, the more he tries to dig into that pride and the idea of himself that everyone else has given him. The longer he stays in there, the closer he gets to meeting the hand of God. And no one gets up from that. So that's what I got to say about it. Everyone goes on, he's a knight, he's a knight, he's a knight. I'm a fucking king.
Now, look, no doubt the fan support is going to be on RKJ's side. I mean, how are you going to be able to deal with not just RKJ, one of the toughest, from the Fighting Knight family, if you like, and that crowd support behind him? Are you really going to be able to overcome it all?
I always have. I always will. Way before anything, I've been fighting since day dot, son. I have been fighting since day dot. And sometimes it just cheers me on even more. I don't need your love and respect. As long as you're there to watch it, that makes me feel great. That moment I get to look out in the crowd after every fight and say, in your face, I told you. And there's going to be no better feeling than that at the end of the month when I am the MPS winner. Just like I said, Tate Mayfairs predicts again. Another step closer to the Progress Wrestling World Championship.
This is fair. And of course, it's not just Progress where you've been climbing the ranks and becoming a major star all across the scene. But most importantly, it's the TNT Extreme. You've recently become the Level Up briefcase holder. You could possibly find yourself simultaneously Progress World Champion and TNT Extreme World Champion, two of the biggest promotions in the UK. I mean, it's right there for you.
It is right there for me. Exactly. You're right. I'm glad you said it. You've now put it out into the universe. This is what is coming. Understand this. On another level, different promotions. I already this year, I've held 3 belts at one time. It was a while, for a long period of time, I had 2 belts. They call me Big Daddy Champ, and I cannot wait to bring that now to the international audience. Look at me on top of the world. Big Daddy Champ, Tate Mayfairs, 2 belts, TNT World Champion, Progress World Champion, MPS winner. And who knows, I already had some dealings already this year with GCW and WWE. So maybe I'll go back to those places and take a couple of belts there too.
I mean, we can't talk about TNT Extreme and GCW then without talking about your match with Jordan Oliver. It was the opening match of the whole weekend. It was a fantastic match, but you did not come out on top of that. Now, GCW, they're heading back in 2023. They're coming back to the UK to work with TNT Extreme once more.
Yeah.
Are you looking to possibly face off against Jordan Oliver?
Aha. Now, you're right in a lot of things you say there. They are coming back. They are coming back. And I will be there. I will be involved. And I will make sure that the world knows my name on GCW's dime. I will make sure that I get GCW blood on my hands, because I owe it to myself and to the world to get revenge on what happened. Jordan Oliver, he's a hell of a young talent. He's got a lot of things going for him, this, that, the other. But I had him like this. I had him this close. It was a snap out of nowhere moment where he caught me with something, okay? But as I said before, submissions don't count, because if I'm in a fight, it ain't over if I get up again and keep fighting you. I did it. It doesn't matter why, because this show is coming up, GCW versus TNT 2023. I will have my revenge, be it Jordan Oliver, be it anyone. I will beat them, and I will show them how great I am. For sure. For sure. Bring it up. I don't care.
Now, you mentioned WWE, so I'm going to ask, of course, NXT UK, if they come, and I'm sure they will come for NXT Europe, would you be interested in going back and being part of NXT Europe?
Listen, I am the greatest professional wrestler to ever walk planet Earth, and I go wherever I can prove it at the highest level and to the most amount of people, because it is inevitable. I have been given this journey. I've been given this destiny by the Most High, that I will come to Earth and show you all the way. I'll show you all how great I am. Every knee will bend, every head will bow, and every tongue confess that Tateness is greatness. The path until that day happens. That is all to come. That's for me to know and for you to find out, because it's none of your damn business. Whoever pays whoever offers the best opportunity to get that job done, to get to that day where the whole world bows down before me, that's where I will go.
Now, another one that I can't talk about, it's been over Twitter, all over the social media recently. You've been calling out Michael Oku.
Oh, I think this again, Jesus.
So what's this about?
He's a mug, isn't he? How could you duck me for 5 years? It's embarrassing.
There you go. So Progress.
Have you met him? Do you like him?
He's one of the standout talents of the Brit wrestling right now.
He is a narcissistic, egotistical piece of overrated shit. He is. It's embarrassing. We've been training at the same places. We've been on the roads. We've been at the same shows. He won't look at me, man. He won't come up to me. Fuck that guy. Screw that guy. I have called him. He said he put me on his list, yeah? Put me on his list twice. He said, I'll fight. He won't, though. He won't. Why has it never happened? And here's adding to the point that really grinds my gears about him is, like, for 5 years, he has instantly been picked up and loved, and he's traveled around flipping world, and everyone just on the OJMO hype train. Yeah, even Dave Meltzer. Same with RKJ. Dave Meltzer. I don't care how many stars. There's only one star in professional wrestling, and you are looking at him right now. How dare you overlook me? How dare you duck me? How dare you run around and say how good you are? Until you get in that ring with me, you ain't nothing. You can't measure yourself to anything until you get in that ring with me. RKJ, OJMO, I don't care who it is. I don't care who you work for and who they've propped you up and protected you. When you get in the ring with me, you will find out how great I am. And until he does that, he ain't got a leg to stand on, and no one should even speak his name in the embarrassing little toad he is.
Okay. I think we'll probably have to leave it there. Any final words for RKJ and Progress and this MPS final?
RKJ, mate, you just keep doing what you're doing. You keep living in that little fantasy world. You keep living in that little fantasy world. And just like everybody else, at the end of the MPS title match, at the MPS tournament, just like all the rest of them, I will shake your hand as you lay unconscious on the floor staring at the ceiling. And then you'll know that Tateness is greatness. How about that?
Now we got to say, you can catch all of this action, Progress Wrestling Chapter 146. They think it's all over. 27th of November at the Camden Electric Ballroom. Make sure, have a great day, and thank you very much.